Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Carletonville, one of the richest gold producing regions on the planet, where towering mining headgear marks the skyline and some of the world's deepest mines stretch nearly 4 kilometers underground. I will not be able to take you everywhere in Carletonville. However, I will do my best to kind of give you an idea of what Carletonville looks like and the feel of the place. With that being said, buckle up and let's go. And now, for this week's good news stories. Last Friday, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange saw a strong surge, with its top 40 index climbing by over 1%. This means the largest companies in the country ended the week on a high note. One of the standout sectors was health technology, which gained more than 4% in a single day. There's good news in the fight against corruption. The Special Investigation Unit, or the SIU, managed to win back 67 million after investigating a company called Crew Camp Plumbers for unlawful contracts. Recovering this much money means more resources can now be used for public service like healthcare and infrastructure. Recently, the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation shared a new plan to put science and technology at the heart of South Africa's development. This includes investing in research, supporting startups, and encouraging new inventions that can solve local problems, from better water system to more affordable healthcare. These plans aim to make South Africa a leader in innovation and create opportunities for young scientists and entrepreneurs. President Cyril Ramaphosa held the very first meeting of the Eminent Persons Group. These are respected ambassadors chosen for their commitment to helping South Africans talk openly and honestly about the country's future. The goal is to bring people from all backgrounds together, promote understanding, and build a stronger sense of unity. Carletonville sits atop the Witwatersrand Basin, a region synonymous with gold. In the late 19th century, prospectors and fortune seekers flocked to this area as news of rich gold deposits spread, transforming the landscape and sowing the seeds for what would become one of South Africa's most significant mining towns. The region experienced a gold rush, and by the early 20th century, scattered mining operations dotted the countryside. The basin's mineral wealth laid the foundation for Carletonville's unique identity. From 1937 to 1957, various mining companies staked their claims, erecting the infrastructure necessary for deep-level gold extraction. What began as an unplanned jumble of mining camps slowly coalesced into a vibrant settlement. 1959, Carletonville was officially proclaimed a town, taking its name from Guy Carleton Jones, a respected mining director credited with helping shape the region's industry and development. Surrounding the burgeoning town were numerous mining villages, such as Western Deep, Ellisrand, Duonfontein, and others, each supporting the expanding workforce and their families. By the late 1960s, Carletonville's population surged, fueled by the booming demand for gold. Carletonville soon earned an international recognition for something truly unique. It was home to the deepest gold mine in the world. By 1979, the Western Deep Levels mine reached unprecedented depths of almost 3,800 meters, an engineering marvel that showcased human persistence and technological ingenuity. Gold was not the only valuable resource extracted. Uranium often emerged as a profitable byproduct. The city's economic fortunes rose and fell with the price of gold, and at their height, the mines attracted thousands of workers from across South Africa and beyond. Like many mining towns during South Africa's decades of apartheid, Carletonville was shaped by institutionalized segregation. The majority of miners, Black South Africans, were forced to live in segregated townships and hostels in the outskirts of the city, while white residents inhabited the more central and better resourced neighborhoods. Despite the harsh restrictions, the mining community fostered a sense of resilience and solidarity among the residents. The late 1980s and early 1990s brought profound transformation. With the release of Nelson Mandela and the dismantling of the apartheid laws, South Africa shifted towards democracy and reconciliation. Carletonville too experienced rapid change. Previously enforced boundaries became more fluid. New neighborhoods emerged, and the community diversified, striving for unity and inclusivity. Carletonville's fortune continued to be closely tied to gold mining, but the city faced moments of difficulty as the industry underwent restructuring. with some mines closing or consolidating operations. The population waxed and waned along with the gold price, but through it all, Carletonville's community adapted, finding new pathways and opportunities as the area moved beyond its exclusive mining identity. Environmental challenges also shape the city's legacy. Built atop unstable dolomite rock, Carletonville has contended with sinkholes, some large enough to swallow buildings or roads. These unique geological hazards are a reminder of the cost and complexities of deep-level mining in such a region. Long before gold fever, people had called this land home. The caves at Lappenlong on Kleinfontein Farm sheltered the Kwena people in the early 1800s, providing a glimpse into an era of turmoil and adaptation during the Difaqane Wars. The nearby Tolepwe ruins hold evidence of Iron Age settlements that predate modern industry, enriching Carletonville with layers of cultural history. Today, alongside its mining legacy, Carletonville is celebrated for its nature reserves, outdoor recreation, and distinctive community spirit. The Abe Bailey Nature Reserve, for example, preserves local grasslands and wetland habitats, offering residents and visitors a peaceful retreat and a sanctuary for more than 60 bird species. In the 21st century, Carletonville navigated several administrative changes, shifting between Gauteng and the Northwest provinces, before finally settling in Gauteng as part of the Merafong City Municipality. These shifts mirror the larger story of a town continuously adapting to the political, economic, and social tides of South Africa. Carletonville's story is one of discovery, trial, and perseverance, a place where gold shaped destinies, industry built communities, and the will to adapt forged a unique and enduring identity in the heart of the South African land. driving through the streets of Carletonville, I am reminded of when my wife used to live in Falkville, during the time when she used to work in a mine not far from here. During those days, when we wanted to go to a bigger town for shopping, we came to Carletonville. So this area brings back memories for me. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed some history of the area, and learned something new. If you have not done so, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and leave a comment if you would like to share any other information or stories that I did not cover in this video. Let's meet again in the next video.